Welcome back. I'm Keith Allen with AXA Radio Network. And in case you're on hold, we haven't forgotten about you. Well, speaking about not forgetting about you, Carmine Lacanata, he is the Executive Vice President of the National Division of AXA. And we're going to talk about retirement, something that is near and dear to me, obviously, with grandparents and with the aging population in the United States, with baby boomers retiring every single day. There's a lot of complexities to retirement. I'd like to talk about some of those. What specifically do you have in mind when it comes to retirees these days?
Keith, thanks for having me here today. As you mentioned, it is a very complex area and very frightening to most people, because if you think about it, as you're approaching retirement, most people are going to live into their 80s or maybe early 90s.
Absolutely.
So, frankly, it's like preparing for unemployment for 30 years. I mean, think about how scary it would be to be unemployed for 1 year.
Wow.
So preparing your finances to address the biggest financial issue in most people's lifetime is something that needs to be addressed very carefully.
So when people are looking at retirement, what would be some of the things, like the top 3 things that would come in mind where people need to get in their minds before even coming to see you or even make a phone call?
How about if I give you the top 5?
That's a deal.
We have a little saying in our business that we've coined the phrase, live it. And these are the major things that you need to be concerned with when preparing for retirement income.
Excellent. See, I knew you would be prepared for this.
So the first is longevity. As I mentioned, people are retiring earlier, 60, 62, 65, and living into their late 80s.
That's right.
So the financing period is 25 to 30 years. So longevity has become a concern that our parents and grandparents' generation really didn't have to address that their predecessors did.
So living longer, big factor.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff. Carmine Lacanata is joining us in case you're on hold, and we did not forget about you. And the most important thing is to realize that AXA understands these complex issues. And when it comes to retirement, you specifically have a team of professionals that this is what they do day in and day out, to plan for living longer and being able to let that money last longer and accomplish what they needed to do. Now, healthcare is on the rise, so people are saving for medical, for eventualities. People do get sick. So this is factored in as well?
Absolutely. Not only healthcare, but property taxes continue to go up, cost of living, which is really the second biggest factor. When you're looking at a long period of time, inflation is the second biggest concern that comes in when you have a long period of time.
Absolutely.
So even at nominal inflation rates of 2.5%, you have to have an ever-rising income stream generated off of your assets to maintain that lifestyle that you want to have in retirement, right?
Well, you want to have that peace of mind and enjoy the golden years. That's what it's about, enjoying retirement, enjoying those years with the grandkids and letting them getting married and just not having those issues. I think of my grandfather, where he was in his house until he died up until his 90s. He had to refinance, but he did it right, had a great advisor, and AXA is such a place, folks, where you can have that peace of mind going into retirement, the golden years. And if your parents are reaching that place right now, you need to talk to Carmine or any of the specialists. Now, what do you think of specialists when I talk about advisors? You have a network of advisors all over the country. There's so many names to mention, but obviously online, and we'll interview many of them here on the AXA Radio Network. But Carmine, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us, the Executive Vice President, in studio with us on Radio Show on Hold on the AXA Radio Network. Wow, this is great stuff. Now, a word from our sponsors from Franklin Templeton.
There's a world of investment opportunities out there. Spotting them takes experts on the ground, assessing potential firsthand. Templeton, a leader in global investing for over 50 years. Gain from our perspective.